there as well.
Porter's kick from half back to half forward. Up in front, Michael. With him is Kerr, knocked out by Melody. He finds the safety of the white line. Right half forward.
Smith, Willison and Sanders, the three talls in the East Fremantle forward line. Durkay also hovering down there.
Lindsay and Atkins. Atkins wins the tap. Down to Sinclair. Hooks it across his body. Condon backed his judgment. He didn't trap it. Now he's got a second chance. Knocks it out towards the boundary. Pursuing it out there is John Dorodich. Over the top of him goes Dodd. It's a big pack close to the white line. And the umpire's coming in to bounce it down. Right full forward pocket for South Fremantle.
And Clem Michael started at centre-half forward for South Fremantle and picked up by John Kerr.
Michael will arrive late. Lindsay favoured by the bounce. Backhands it down, but not very accurately. Kelly on goal has missed. Across the face. And Condon, Lindsay it was, goes back and lets him know. So the ball will be brought back into play by Condon, who did so well in the second semi-final. The games between these two clubs so far this season are 2-2. South's won the first, East Fremantle the second, South's the third, East Fremantle the fourth, which was the second semi-final. Souths have the ball on their forward line. Dodd misses with a hand pass. Here's the opportunity for Campbell. 35 metres out, he steadies, and the Bulldogs are on the ball. South Fremantle 1 goal straight. East Fremantle yet to score.
Well, the zone defence that the teams operate on now in the from the East Fremantle kick-in has really paid a dividend here. They've just got numbers, and the thump back that came from Stephen Pears, that's what coaches love to see happen. And the missed hand pass there by an East Fremantle defender, Brad Dodd, I think it was, or in the defensive area.
It was Dodd, and a costly mistake.
Yes, it was. He went to fire the ball and wasn't able to meet it with his fist, and as a result, the goal of Campbell.
Back in the middle, Lindsay versus Atkins. Good straight bounce, good leap by Atkins, wins the tap. Sharked away though by East Fremantle's Bowden. The kick to centre half forward, fisted away by Porter. Back to the middle of the ground. Rosa ducks his head, gets a hand pass out. Going back is Porter. He brings it out to the boundary. He's a very safe and reliable defender, is John Porter. And again, he believes the pressure momentarily. Pears getting a hand to that with Smith. Forced in towards centre half forward. This is Durkay. Hooks it across his body. Danger here for South. Hart's there. Almost took the mark. Over his back was O'Brien. Nothing doing, says the umpire. Almost the mark.
Yes.
What did you think there? Free kick?
I would have thought so.
A bounce about 10 metres out. Pears beats Smith for the tap. Sanders is here for East Fremantle. Feeds it off. This is Willison. Hooks it across his body. Sumich standing firm in defence.
Peter Sumich just steadying things down. Looking along the members' flank. Pears is the target. Melody pushed him under the ball. Opportunity now for Bowden. His hand pass is good enough, but it comes off Kilmartin's knee and goes out for a throw-in. And Campbell comes across and lets Hayden Kilmartin know that perhaps he could have done better. Boundary throw-in is between right centre wing and right half forward for East Fremantle. Souths are 1-1. East Fremantle are yet to score. Opportunity for South here as Michael leaps again. The bounce of the ball beats Spalding. Hook back towards the half-forward line for East Fremantle. Bilsich has it. It took too long, was run down by Bootsma. Michael wanted to go off the ground and did eventually. Malaxis taken heavily by Atkins. The ball spills back to Malaxis. He was back on his feet in a flash, but he's down on his backside again just as quickly. Now an opportunity for East Fremantle. The ball is taken by Bromwich. He moves towards half-forward. As Sumich meets the shepherd, occurs strongly. Willison splied from behind by Hines. Sinclair taken high. He's lucky to be out there, in my opinion.
The fierce tackling in that last couple of minutes of play, Wal. That was one of them.
Sinclair with the free kick. It's a good one, too. Onto the left centre wing where Rennick takes the mark. Not a good left foot kick. Campbell's equal to it. Hand pass it away. Spalding has it. Gets the hand pass towards Dodd. Dodd with a good hand pass infield. Now Kilmartin's got time. Spears the ball down in the direction of Willison. And he's taken the mark. just inside right half forward.
Gee, that's the kick of a runner up to the centre of the medal, wasn't it? Pinpoint accurate under the pressure as well. Terrific kick from Kilmartin.
Each Fremantle's first scoring opportunity. Willison will kick from just inside 50 metres. Sumich is on the mark. Very little breeze. What breeze there is blowing into Willison's face, although he will be protected by the three-tier stand, so distance won't be a problem. Not a good kick, but East Fremantle are on the board. They're 1 point, South are 1-1.
Lee Willison, missed opportunity. Now it's with David Hart. Very reliable kick as a rule back into play. Bottrell misses the mark out there, close to the white line, runs it over in front of Melody, and the umpire says throw it in.
Johnson off and Wooten has come on.
There he is, Greg Wooten. Pears, fourth man in the queue there. Getting the tap out was Porter. This is Rosa. Scrambles the kick upfield. Hines knocks it forward into the path of Wooten. Now it's back with Rosa. Pulled off the hand pass. Willison misses. Taken by Bottrell. Hand passes to Hart. South relieves the pressure again. They're defending strongly at the moment, but they need to. It's going to come back. Bowden. This is Bromwich. His player's loose. He ignores Sanders. Runs to 50. Too much time. Good kick. East Fremantle kicked there first. And he was given a lot of space in which to operate then. And Bromwich made no mistake. Scores the level after 7.
Yes, well, that goal really was created because South Fremantle had the zone defence and really left the space. And Bromwich realised he had the space. And despite the fact that Stephen Pears was dropping back in the goal square there, Bromwich measured it off beautifully from 55 and executed the kick very well. And it's been a very lively start. East Fremantle just had a little bit more of the play. There's the interchange players, Warren, Stagg and Burrows warming up.
Atkins on the ball for South. Posed by Lindsay. Atkins got another crack at it and Grubbers the kick to the advantage of Rennick, who then got a shocking bounce. Bromwich overran it. Lindsay had the ball knocked away from him, taken by Spalding, but not particularly effectively. Kerr is under pressure. Michael had a saddle on him. Play allowed to go on, and there'll be a bounce about 52 metres out from South's goal.
He's really throwing himself into it at this stage, Michael.
Yes, he's pretty fired up. Very athletic young man. And his youth won't do him any harm out there today in what is going to be warm and testing conditions. But Lindsay wins this ball down. Bottrell sends it wide to Rennick. Rennick on the left foot again. Not a good left foot kick. Taken by Melody. Now Bromwich, who's prominent early. Kicks towards centre wing, but South Fremantle have all the numbers. And the third man in the line, Stephen Pears, takes the mark. He's called a play on now as he went to hand pass to Sumich. Realised Smith was standing behind Sumich. The kick to half forward. Off hands it comes down to Stockton, who gets a hurried kick back towards centre wing. Sanders up, couldn't take the mark. Rosa ran into a dead end, but the mark has been paid to Sanders.
Yes, I think he did control the football.
Oh,
maybe he didn't.
Got to do a bit better than that, I think, on a day like this.
The umpire was unsighted a little bit there, but he shouldn't anticipate, though, if that's the case.
Sanders from right centre wing. Kicks towards right half forward. Sumich is in front. No, he's not. Willison is. Willison had his hands pulled away by Sumich, and that's a good decision, in my opinion.
Well, if they're consistent with it, no problem. There it was, the attempted spoil.
It was more of a knock than I realised. I thought he'd actually grabbed his hand. The kick from Willison in towards full forward. Terrific mark. Great mark has been taken by Smith, is it?
Yep.
Coming from the back of the pack. And he's done very well to pull that down as cleanly as he did. So Chris Smith will shoot for goal from about 35 metres out. He's slightly right of centre, but the angle won't be a problem, almost directly in front. So East Fremantle have steadied after South's got that early goal from Warren Campbell. East Fremantle got the second goal of the game, and they can now kick the third to take the lead for the first time in the grand final. But they've taken the lead. East Fremantle are 1-2, Souths are 1-1.
Supporters are loving it at the moment. Great atmosphere here.
Rennick versus Bowden on the centre wing is an interesting duel.
Sumich leads. Hart's kick is a beauty. Nicely juggled, Peter Sumich. He's outside 50. A little bit of Eagles magic in that pass and mark. Sumich. Raking left foot to the wing. Lindsay sets. He's in the pack. Couldn't hold it. Pears was in front. The rover is Sinclair. Turns into trouble. Lost it. Then he was dealt with. Now the pack develops on the crest. And Sinclair was bundled out unceremoniously there.
It's interesting, South Fremantle's tactics. They're dropping back their ruckman all the time. Stephen Pears goes right back to centre half back and works in tandem with Peter Sumich against Justin Sanders.
Atkins nudged Lindsay underneath that. Melody has his head pulled off. Got to get a kick, surely.
No, held to him, the umpire said. Well, there's no risk. There was a hand around the neck there. Wayne French didn't see it.
Comments from Trevor Sprigg. Lindsay, Atkins over the top, straight down to Spalding. Malaxis, the 1-2 there. Malaxis pulls it across his body. Sanders and Sumich together. Sumich has got his hamstring. Sumich, I think, might have pulled a muscle. This is Bromwich again. He's already kicked one. He's pulled it. It's in the square. Hart there, got his hands to it. Off hands through for a minor score. Sumich is gone.
Yes, I think he's done the hamstring right up near the sciatic area.
I think it might be his thigh. Look a bit at the front.
There it is. And I'd say he's gone, Peter Sumich. It's back into play. This is Sinclair. Sumich is still on the ground.
Gee, they're taking a long time to get a replacement for him.
He's immobile. Lindsay couldn't hang on long enough. Atkins putting pressure on Lindsay to Kilmartin. Big pack of players again. It's fierce in there. Sumich, the grand final is over for him, I'd say.
Bad luck for South Fremantle and for Peter Sumich. Straight off the ground, the bandage off his left thigh and ice on it. So I can't see him playing much more part in the game today.
That's a savage blow for South midway through the first quarter. Michael gets the ball to the side of the pack. Malaxis kicks down towards centre wing. Black goes to ground. Play allowed to go on. Opportunity now as Dodd kicks towards half forward. Opportunity for East Fremantle. They charge at the ball. Smith knocks it clear. Picked up by Sinclair. The ball jars out of the Smith tackle. Durkay has it. He eludes Kelly. Chips the ball towards half forward. And here's Bromwich again.
He's killing them, Bromwich. He's subtracted a loose man across the middle of the ground. Durkay, brilliant. Willison. Gary Durkay, precision and a beautiful bullet-like pass has hit this man Willison on the chest from 50 now. Let's watch it. He's pulled it a bit, but it's snuck in the right side of the post. It's a goal to the Sharks. They're 2-3-15. South are 1-1-7, and East Fremantle look nice and firm at the moment, Trevor. They've started off in very good fettle.
Yes, in the last 10 minutes after the first 5 minutes of play, South were on top, but they've regained their composure at East Fremantle. Bromwich giving them terrific drive, with Malaxis very steady in defence as well, and that was a great pass, as you called. And this time, Willison, his first kick was a helicopter. That one was straight.
Pears doing the ruck work this time against Lindsay, and Pears wins a decisive knock. Taken by Melody, tackled by Michael. The kick towards half forward, Durkay. He's been influential. They go forward again, the Sharks, towards full forward. Willison couldn't pick it up. The umpire was right on the spot. Smith has it. His hand pass was short of the mark. Opportunity for South, push in the back. The free kick will go to John Porter. Plays on quickly with a hand pass across half back. Support coming from Bootsmar. They have a player loose almost on centre wing. That's Rennick. He gets around Bowden, kicks in towards centre half forward. But all the South Fremantle players are behind. Knocked down by Spalding, taken by Rosa. Rosa pulled off his kick by Michael. Gives Bootsmar the chance. Tried to take it one hand. Atkins pops the hand pass over the top of O'Brien. Hart was cool. Black, cool also. They get it across to Bootsmar. Now they have the opportunity to set something up. That's a shocking kick. Oh, that was terrible. And so was the attempted mark. It gives Rioli a chance. Extricates himself from two tackles. Kicks to Dorotich. Was he interfered with? He was. The umpire was right alongside Condon. He's not complaining. John Kerr's down now. I didn't see what happened there, but the umpire was right alongside, and Condon wasn't complaining about the decision. I don't think he realised that umpire French was only 5 metres away. And so Dorotich has the opportunity to put South back within a goal. Dorotich, so well held in the second semi-final. So important to South Fremantle's chances in any game. Lines up, kicking at the goal at the eastern end, the city end, and kicks from 40 metres out and makes no mistake. So South strike back. They're 2-1, East Fremantle at 2-3.
well, trace the source of the goal, and there's no doubt that the goal came from the mismark with John Kerr. When this is it here, there was no talk there. Marshall Stockton could have said yours or you go, old Shepherd. There didn't appear to be any talk, and Dean Rioli got the ball in the direction of his full forward, and as Wally called it, didn't seem to be any problem with the free kick there, holding on against Damien Condon. And John Dorotich with South Fremantle's second goal, his first, a very important player.
Sandover medal runner-up, Stephen Pears against Paul Lindsay. No clean tap there. At the back, Melody, kick smothered by Sinclair. Bromwich had a brilliant first term. Again, a penetrating kick. Up they go again. Big pack. Porter was from behind. It's fisted out towards the boundary. Rennick overruns it. Bootsmother back up. Hand passes forward of the play. Trying to keep it in was Darren Rennick. Couldn't do so.
Gee, if Rennick hadn't have been there, I think that would have been penalised. I reckon Trevor Garrett's had a close look at a couple of them already. And as long as they're consistent with that, that's fine.
Started well, Rennick. Pears, Lindsay at the back. Lindsay wins the tap. Bootsmore a fumble. Toe poked it. Lindsay out to Dodd across to Bromwich. Another possession from 55. Going back is Hines. Timely mark. Hart is short. Longer is Atkins. And Sanders closing. Knocks it upfield. Sinclair taken over the boundary. Pushed in the back.
Yes, by his tag, Wayne Rose, they're getting second of the football, and the Sharks have done that on a couple of occasions, jumping into backs. Lee Willison or Chris Smith was also penalised earlier.
15 medal votes last Monday night for Jess Sinclair. He's the star of the future. Oh, up behind then was Wooten, couldn't take the mark. Kelly pulled off the hand pass, comes back to Wooten. The clever Rioli took too long, got his kick in just in time. Stockton, bundled out by Worsfold from 35 metres. He's kicked it. Peter Worsfold puts South in front by 4 points. 18.5 minutes into this first term. What a grand final.
Well, it's a terrific effort. Greg Wooten there giving the hand pass off. Rioli taking plenty of time, just about caught with a Bromwich tackle, but turning a man. Peter Worsfold here. Marshall Stockton attacked the football. It didn't bounce very kindly for him. And Worsfold, the co-captain, gets on the scoreboard just like his co-captain, John Dorotich.
South by 4 points. This is perhaps going to be a contest between East Fremantle's consistency and their evenness and South's potential to play at a higher level. If East Fremantle can stop them from doing that, they can win the premiership. If South can get to that level, it's probably going to be good enough for them to win the flag. It's a free kick to East Fremantle in the centre square, and it'll be taken by Rosa.
Yes, they've got good value from their two entries into the 50, forward 50, the last two, while South, both goals.
Yes, they've got some real talent out there. Atkins has spoiled his teammate Pears. The ball kicked off the ground, picked up by Lindsay, and at the top of the square, the mark has been taken by O'Brien. Now, he kicked 4 goals in the second semi-final and was a very influential player in that game. Perhaps more accustomed to playing in the back line, but he has done well in this final series previously within the goal-scoring area, and he has the opportunity to put the Sharks back in front. He's done just that. East Fremantle at 3-3, South Fremantle at 3-1. It has the makings of a very good grand final.
Indeed, the fourth lead change already in the first quarter of play, just about 18 minutes old. And the opportunist goal here, Stephen O'Brien getting the dividends of playing in front, finishing off very well. And it's often that unknown players jump up in final round football. Stephen O'Brien's already done that in the second semi with 4 goals. And one of the tactics being used today by Tony McCall is to isolate him with David Hart, because Stephen O'Brien is pretty good in the air.
Sharks by 2 points. Michael's on the ball now, opposed to Lindsay. Lindsay wins it easily through the hands of Sinclair. Backed up, though, by Kelly. Hooks it out very wide. Wooten and Kilmartin doing battle. Wooten kicks it in front of his body. Hand passes forward. And it found the white line. Under constant pressure then from Hayden Kilmartin. Michael, big fist forward. Worth about 15 metres. Good punch then from Clem Michael. This has started off in great style. This is what the people have come to see. All the experience in the world in that coach's box. Pears and Lindsay, even Stevens. Rose are going nowhere. Stockton, kick smothered. Wooden, well done. Black hooks it across his body. High, inside centre half forward. Dorotich at the back. Worsfold in front. Pushed out by Stockton. Scrambled forward again by Fremantle. Picked up by Dorotich. Oh, brilliantly smothered then by Bromwich. Man of the moment. And away to Malaxis was very clever indeed. And the kick from Malaxis was a beauty. Sanders couldn't hold it, but he's got time to recover. And finesses. Cuts inboard. Shocking kick though. Trapped by Black. Rose are too high. Play on. Back to Porter. He gets through a tackle. Hand passes upfield. It's on the wing. Bromwich again. Does it brilliantly, Adrian Bromwich. And the Sharks go forward again.
And they have a loose man at half forward. Dodd, he didn't get to the ball, but it's knocked onto O'Brien. Now Melody from 30 metres out. He's kicked the goal. Martin Melody gets East Fremantle's fourth. They're 4-3, Souths are 3-1.
Well, one of the things that the coaches would have talked about is running from behind the ball as well when you've got an opportunity to try and set something up. And Brad Dodd very cleverly knocked on that occasion to Stephen O'Brien. And running from behind the ball is Martin Melody, something he does very, very well indeed. The finish was terrific under pressure. And this game is absolutely sensational. 7 goals already, 4 lead changes, and it can only get better, I reckon.
All singles too at the moment. No multiple goal scorers in the game. 27 plays 19. Michael, big leap over Lindsay. Bottrell was too slick then for Kelly. It's Bromwich again. He feeds Bowden out of the middle. The kick to half forward. Willison up in front. Tapped away by Hines. Back comes Willison though. He's met by Porter. Coming in is Black. Goes defensively to Bootsma. Bootsma switches play, but this is dangerous. Almost trapped here. And the kick forward by East Fremantle up towards full forward. And getting away is O'Brien again. I think that kick came from Dodd, didn't it, Trent?
Yes, he's done a couple of very good things, young Brad Dodd, but the man that's cut them to ribbons is Adrian Bromwich in the middle of the ground. He's had 11 possessions already, and Peter Kelly has just not played in close enough.
He's almost had a roving commission through the middle. Bromwich has created havoc. O'Brien for his second from 25. That's a good kick, straight as a gun barrel. Another goal to the Sharks. So they've hit back very hard against the Bulldogs. 33 plays 19,
yes,
almost into time on.
Well, the goal's going in trends, really. That wasn't a good clearing kick by Brad Bootsman. Brad Dodd doing some good work on his centre wing opposed to Heath Black. And again, Stephen O'Brien playing in front of David Hart, leading into the football, the veteran. David Hart loves to play his own game, but Tony McCall has worked out that his most vulnerable position is right in the goal square, and that's where O'Brien starts his run from.
14 points is the margin. Michael coming in from the side, gets the ball down, but straight to Melody. They've got to think about that. The mark not played to Atkins. He half-volleyed it. Sinclair appeared to be held when he didn't have it. Another opportunity for Black. It wasn't Black, it was Bottrell. His hand pass was ineffective. Lindsay sockers it forward. Hutchison's on the ground, but Lindsay's too strong. Met solidly. Still Lindsay goes. He seemed to scoop that out. It comes to Sanders. Durkay shrugs the tackle. Kicks the ball across half forward, and Bilsich is unattended. Well, the South Fremantle forwards got caught running forward. Backs got caught running forward then, and the ball actually came back a little, which is what gave Bilsich best position. High kick where South have the numbers. Hines almost at the second attempt. Bromwich close to the boundary line, and now it's gone out.
Gee, John Todd's got to look at the Peter Kelly-Adrian Bromwich matchup. He's got Tommy Bottrell running with Martin Melody. It might have been worth switching those two or bringing Peter Worsfold into the middle of the ground.
There's Bromwich, another of East Fremantle's Victorian recruits. Michael getting to the contest late. Bilsich just misses.
And he started much better against Brad Bootsman today too. East Fremantle thought they could get an advantage from a better performance from their vice-captain today.
It's 5-4 to 3-1. 15 points is the margin. 26 minutes played in the first quarter of the grand final. David Hart, who announced his retirement earlier today. This is his last game. Kicks in short, finds Sinclair, who's got a lot of games ahead of him. Just got away from the pursuing Bilsich. Oh, that's a beautiful kick. Mark taken by Atkins.
It was a classic one.
He's behind centre wing. Not a particularly good kick, although it did carry Malaxis. Knocked on by Rioli. Kelly goes in on top of Bromwich. Ball has a chance to come out and does. Bottrell with an opportunity. Kilmartin pursuing him. Hand pass was a shocker. Hand pass to Black, who ran straight into a tackle, had no chance to get rid of it. And there's going to be a bounce in the centre square, 5 or 6 metres into South's attacking zone.
He ran into an angry Melody. There's the bounce. Michael brings it down again. Peter Worsfold got his hand pass out. This is Black. He's clever, knows how to use the football, kicks it up high. Bowden is there for East Fremantle. Rennick for South and now Spalding. Lending support, slaps towards the boundary. Socket forward by Bowden. Bumped over as he kicked, picked up by Kelly. Somehow he got it through the traffic. This is Campbell. He can do anything. He hooks it up towards the square. Pears is there for South in front. Couldn't hold the mark though. Spalding goes defensively. And Sir John Kerr, very wisely, just lets it roll over.
Yeah, he's a very composed player, is John Kerr. You can see him talking there, directing traffic.
Got a bad knock early in the game and appeared to do a bit of damage. Now that appeared to be interference to Pears, gone unnoticed. Kicked upfield now by Kerr to halfback, but Sinclair run down by Rosa. Great tackle. Now picked up by Wooten though. He goes square to who? Dropped by the Sharks in defence, could be costly. This is Kelly from 35 metres. He hooks on goal. Pears again at the back, fisted away by the Sharks defence. That was Kerr. This is Campbell. Run down from behind. Ball jars out. Workball's quick snap is offline. Out of bounds on the full. Gee, they needed a goal there, South.
Terrific defence by East Fremantle, though. They tackled hard and often.
Yes, plenty of
That
pressure on.
Spalding.
The gang tackles that the coaches love.
It's an interesting move by Lindsay, running infield like that. Was called to play on. Worsfold almost to mark it. Comes to Sinclair on the boundary line. Kicks to a more central location. Dorotich has got the mark. No. Push against Condon.
And it was there.
Condon with the free kick. He doesn't waste any time. Can't be much time left in this quarter. 29 minutes played. Umpire's whistle's gone. It's going to be a free kick to East Fremantle.
It was a bit crude by Heath Black. They're just losing a bit of composure, a couple of these younger players.
Melody finds Stockton on the boundary line. Melody running past, but Bottrell was running with him. Now Stockton goes into centre-half forward. Sanders was best placed. Thursday! Oh, makes a rare mistake, only because he heard the whistle. It's a free kick that I hadn't seen played. It was going to go to Atkins, but there's the siren for quarter time. Terrific opening term to the grand final. East Fremantle a 5-4-34. South Fremantle 3-1-19. The margin is 15 points in favour of the Sharks.
And it's going to Paul Lindsay.
Bottrell has got the
And
job on
nobody on the
Melody.
mark. Now that's Blacks from South Fremantle. Willison up in front. From behind it was Hart. It was O'Brien, not Willison. And Hines kicks it into centre half back, and it's taken by Kelly. He goes out wide, a little bit dangerous. Getting a hand pass in there was Bilsich. It was meant for Hart. Bilsich is kicked into the pocket. Porter at the back, knocks it away from Smith. He's got back up from Kelly. John Porter doesn't need it. Slaps it upfield and gets it out of the danger zone, almost to the 50. South Fremantle can't afford to concede the first goal here. They're under pressure already in this grand final, one gets the feeling. But a long way to go yet. Kelly, Hines, pulled as he kicked into the middle. In front, Rioli, good, strong hands. Takes the mark, plays on quickly. There's players up ahead. This is one of them. Michael stops, has a look. Dorich the target, it's wide of him and bounces out of bounds. The kick from Clem Michael was off the side of the boot. And that was an opportunity wasted then.
Yes, he had more time than that, Clem Michael, and that laconic style that he has just perhaps limits his effectiveness at times.
He does battle again in the ruck with Lindsay. Not a lot happening there.
Just watch him at this this boundary throw-in now. His second effort is terrific. He does go after the ball really well.
He's actually playing with some intensity today,
Yes.
isn't it? It's just when he's got time that he uses it all, and you're quite right, he's very laconic.
Todd's words would be stinging in their ears at the moment. Michael snaps across the face. Condon through the hands and out of bounds, but it's up there for South Fremantle. He's got a good view of the game.
Sorry, Clem Michael's father's probably had the best second and third effort of any player I've ever seen. Well,
This time Dorotich does the ruck work, nudged over by Lindsay. Worsfold's kick smothered. Wooden, hand pass to straight to Kerr. What was he thinking about there? And Kerr finds Bromwich at half-back. Bad mistake by Greg Wooden.
Kelly 5 metres off his man again. And now there's run out of defence. Dodd has it. Kicks to half-forward and Smith. Souths have got a man up quickly. Melody, infield and back to Smith. Smith towards centre-half forward. That's a good kick. It's a telling kick. Willison gets it down to O'Brien. There's no one in the square. Rosa will be first back, but he won't get there in time. And it just bounced out on the full.
And Black has come off and Johnson back on for South Fremantle. There he is, Troy Johnson.
No, it bounced just inside the line. So there's a throw-in alongside East Fremantle's left-hand behind post. Pears is there for Souths. Bootsmar's high kick gets it out of immediate danger, but it'll come back because Bowden has it inside 50. Miskicks badly. Went looking for Dodd in the pocket.
In the first quarter, while East Fremantle had it 18 times inside 50 to South Fremantle's 11, which I think is a significant stat.
The margin is still 15 points as it was at quarter time. The Sharks lead. That kick is close to the boundary line, but Pears takes an uncontested mark. He's finished in the top 5 in the last 3 Sandover medal counts. There's his kick, up towards centre wing. Michael up in front. The umpire's whistle's gone, and Clem Michael will get the free kick. I'm impressed with him so far. He's made some casual mistakes, as he always does, and there's another one. But he really is working hard. Bromwich gets it infield to Malaxis. Malaxis kicks to centre wing. Smith with a big task to pick it up at that level. Rosa does it well. Melody appeared to be pushed in the back again. And Martin Melody's finding it hard to win free kicks this afternoon. There's going to be a bounce at right centre wing for South.
He had something to say to umpire French then too, asked why he didn't get the kick.
Big pack around the bounce. Again, it's Michael who taps it forward. Comes down to Bromwich though. Quick kick. Bill Stitch knocked away by Bootsma. Bottrell. Sinclair at close quarters. High kick to half forward. Spalding sets and marks. Peter Worsfold late.
And got plenty from Peter Worsfold.
Now look at this in the middle of the ground. Melody's got away and he's marked under pressure from Rennick. Sharks.
And Bottrell has been taken off, so he obviously hasn't satisfied Coach Todd.
Sharks working it forward. This is Smith. He's still in the centre square. Lindsay lurking in the goal square. O'Brien too, but he goes short. That's very poor checking by South. This is Brad Dodd now. He's going to go long. He indicated that. And 6 possessions so far to the young man. Plenty of talent. Kick into the pocket. Willison up. O'Brien it was. Couldn't hang on. Durkay doing battle. Pushed out by Hutchison. And Wooten bundled over with the ball. He's going to get a kick. In fact, yes, it will be Greg Wooten to take the kick for South. And there it is.
Yeah, I don't like to see that one.
Deep in defence to half-back. Atkins. Easy.
Pears in the middle.
That's the way it goes. Stephen Pears on a roll. Kicks to centre-half forward. South Fremantle, they're out of position. East Fremantle spoiled each other, but they're able to come away through Sir John Kerr. But that's a good mark in defence by Porter. So it's kick to kick. The back line's holding firm at the moment. This is Campbell. Now can he penetrate? He kicks to centre-half forward. Michael, you've got to go. He does. Couldn't hold the mark. Rioli bundled over there by Malaxis. Malaxis knocks it straight to Sinclair. Now it's Johnson. Rioli on the 50. Taking his time. The kick's a shocker, but it's going to bounce close. It's the post. Kick was a woeful kick, but somehow it was heading towards the target.
She's not quick, Dean Rioli, but they can't catch him, can he? He just seems to get out of those situations.
He's slippery.
Oh.
Now here's Bromwich kicking in. They'd trust him with anything today, the way he started. Spalding recovered well at ground level and avoids Campbell's tackle. Kicks back towards the boundary line. It stayed in play, and it still stayed in. Now rolls out. And only just then. There's Marty Atkins. Standing Justin Sanders at the moment.
And it's a great battle between the two of them.
5-4 to 3-2. 14 points is the margin. East Fremantle lead. Lindsay and Pears. Lindsay interfered. Pears with the free kick. So South have got some momentum at the moment. They haven't been able to kick the elusive goal that they're looking for. Michael is the target. It's a good leap. Rennick is loose, but Michael was backpedaling. Kicks almost from the standing position towards Dorotich. Play on the call. Bromwich pulled off his kick. Chance for South. Rioli, but it's all gone astray. Spalding has it. Cross the face of goal. The target is Durkay. With him is Hutchison. Hutchison had hold of Durkay. The umpire paid the free kick, and Durkay was brilliant in that passage of play. He's running away from Hutchison, sets up a scoring opportunity, but the good mark is taken by Hart.
Circle work.
Swing plays to Porter. He can come to Pears on the wing. Campbell is with him. Oh, bad mistake, John Porter. They had players loose all down the wing.
Those mistakes prove very costly in big games. Kilmartin's kick. He's got to come back.
Now, Burrows has got to take the kick, I think. They're
You're
just
right.
trying to find him.
Yes, interesting. Both teams, Scott Spalding right deep in defence at the Subiaco end, transferring play and going down the other end, and back comes South Fremantle to the grandstand side. Circle work, as they call it.
Yes, it's back with Craig Burrows. It's 14 points in favour of the Sharks. And in almost 9 minutes of play, yet to see a goal in this quarter. Porter couldn't hold the mark. Lindsay at the back, just inside the white line, up towards full forward. This is O'Brien. That was Willison. Gives it to Bilstich. He snapped. It's a gem. Great kick from Stephen Bilstich. So quick onto the boot, and now they lead by 20 points.
Yes, and there's danger signs for South Fremantle because Stephen O'Brien is fair income murdering David Hart. He's led him to the football again here. And it was just the situation of the very quick hands coming back to Stephen Bilstich. And it was a quick ball to boot. And certainly Stephen Bilstich reversing the situation for when Brad Bootsma beat him pointlessly in the second semi-final.
Pears opposing Lindsay. Lindsay does best. Bilstich couldn't pick it up. Hurriedly out of the centre. I think it was Johnson who got that kick. Taken by Rioli. Kicks to the 50-metre line for South. They need something to happen here. Bromwich again. She's been terrific through this first half. Clears with dash in the direction of Melody. Up over the top of him was Galt, who's now got the job on Melody. Melody was the only player who held his footing. He was taken high again. The ball knocked away from Dodd by Galt. Sinclair has it and loses it. It's pretty tough in there. The ball spills free. Chance for Rioli, who stands in the tackle. Ducks the oncoming player. Put to the teammate and Bootsma under pressure, but Galt sweeps it up. Gives it to Hutchison. Hutchison kicks the half forward. It's a brilliant kick. And Rennick was testing the defence. He thought about going. He can't go now. The umpire's blown time on. He thought about going, took a couple of steps to see if the tackle was going to be laid. It was, so he pulled up.
Yes, Rhett Bowden was very much awake up to the situation there, and very clever football indeed. And good umpiring by Wayne Francis.
I was just going to say, he was testing the umpiring as much as he was the defence. Dorotich in front. Chance for Pears. Oh, just slipped under his finger. Malaxis in on top of the ball, and Lindsay comes in to lend support. Well, Dorotich had a chance to mark. Pears had a chance to pick it up. But things aren't falling into place for South Fremantle at the moment.
They need a crumbing play down there, Wild. A long way down for Stephen Pears.
Throw in just inside South's 50 metres. Michael arriving to do the ruck work. It's a bad boundary throw in, landed with Dodd at the front of the pack. Michael's hand pass wasn't particularly effective, nor was Lindsay's. Campbell went in solidly. Kilmartin chose to keep it in. Eventually it rolls out about 55 metres around from South's goal.
Whatever Dean Rioli's done so far in the game has been spectacular. 7 possessions. He is a Houdini. Lindsay. Sinclair couldn't control it. Going in with reckless abandon then was Black. Picked up by Sinclair. And the umpire is going to give a kick to Rosa.
Yes, that's right. Heath Black has lost his composure. That's just about the second time he's done that. He's just going in just a little bit over the top.
Yeah, his leg was grabbed by Rosa, though. I thought that was fair enough. But anyway, this is Kerr. Sir John Kerr runs it out of defence. Too easy by the Sharks. Burrows up in front. Couldn't hold the mark. Confronted by Hutchison. Comes to Durkay. Very slick, Durkay. Willison misses the mark. Sliding to the ground. Hines the backup. And mops it up. Atkins. Hutchison. Hines. South run it out of defence. The kick to the wing. Nobody in particular. David Hines. And the mark out there missed by Rennick. It's over off hands.
Now Worsfold's up in the midfield now, and he's got Bromwich.
Would he have the pace?
Well, they had to do something.
Lindsay couldn't get down that low. Stockton away to Rosa. Rosa scrambles it forward. Bilsich used his body on Bootsma. Coming down Willison, met by Hutchison. Back comes Hutchison. Good defensive work. Shoveled forward by Gold. Sliding in there is Black. Can't do much about it. Rosa got out of a tackle. Sinclair uses his body. Got it well. This is Willison now outside 50. It came back to him from God. The kick into the square, and it's been marked down there by Melody.
See, they don't want a man up on him, do they?
Well, he just ran so hard, while he's a very hard-running player, is Martin Melody. And he actually realised he punted a little bit on East Fremantle getting the footy, I must say.
And his punt has come off because he's kicking from 12 metres out, 45-degree angle. Really couldn't miss from there, and hasn't. He's kicked 2 for the game. The margin's blown out to 26 points. Danger signs for South Fremantle. In fact, it's almost critical that South now get the next goal in this game.
Yes, it's crunch time for the Bulldogs indeed. And the hard work off the ball, Wayne Rosa, Brad Dodd in particular, doing some of the hard things. This is Dodd, a hand pass back to Willison, just to find the space, and the hard running of Melody there. The work ethic of East Fremantle at the moment is superior to the Bulldogs. And a lot of people say when you're coming from the preliminary final, you need to be in front at half-time and three-quarter time. Well, South have got a lot of work to do to get there.
26 points is the margin. 14 and a half minutes played in the second term. Pears wasn't a good hand pass, but Worsfold should have done better. Sinclair's caught, almost holding the ball. He went to ground with the ball under the tackle.
He's a good tackler, Rosa, Trevor.
Yes, very strong indeed, in close.
Lindsay and Pears jostling for position, preventing the umpire from bouncing the ball. Now he has another go. Lindsay decisively, but taken by Heath Black, who appears to be lacking match practice at the moment. Wooden gets the ball wide. East Fremantle tied up, and it spills to their advantage. Kilmartin, now he usually uses the ball well. He's 60 metres from goal. Look at the kick. Oh, misunderstanding between Burrows and Bilsich. Willison has it. He's caught, tackled by Hart. Oh, holding the man.
Well, the ball had jarred free.
Oh, but he threw it out of his hands. He had the ball.
Stephen O'Brien, I think, the player.
Oh, O'Brien it is. He had the ball.
But he's absolutely murdering David Hart. And I think John Todd has to look at that situation.
Now O'Brien will shoot from 45 metres out, perhaps 1 or 2 metres further out than that. He's on a 30-degree angle. He's well within distance, and he can take the lead to beyond 5 goals. He starts it right, and it stays out there.
In the old days, that's what it deserved.
Yes.
South Fremantle get a reprieve. It's 7-5 to 3-2. South have added only 1 point in the first 16 minutes of the second quarter.
John Todd might consider bringing David Hart up to the midfield and use his great kicking skills.
Well, his great kicking skills then. They put it out of bounds before it was touched. Too much carry on it for Sinclair. Rosa boots it into the pocket. Up goes Willison. Thumbs come to Black. From the back pocket to the wing on the outer side of the ground. Atkins. Sanders was up in front. Thumbs to Wooten. Now they're on the move, the Bulldogs. Rioli getting a hand in there with Kerr. Chance here for Michael. Can't find the handle. Now he does. Hand passes upfield. Rioli from 30. Kicks and got it. South Fremantle needed that so desperately. Cappuccino kicks his full points. And the South Fremantle banners are waving proudly there as South Fremantle's fourth goes on the board off the boot of Dean Rioli.
Well, if East Fremantle lose this game, they'll rue the miss at the other end of the ground by Stephen O'Brien, and then another opportunity where they kick the ball back into play from the miss kick. But this player, Dean Rioli, if he can get free, he's actually troubled Steve Malaxis since he's been on the ground. And he's done some magical things, as TJ mentioned before, and he could be the player that will really spark a fight back by the Bulldogs.
So the margin is back to 21 points. 17 and a half minutes gone in the second term. Lindsay in pairs again. Pairs does best, but it's taken by Bromwich. Now Melody to half forward. Burrows in front. Stump forward. Taken by Bilsich, who had a hand on the shoulder, or had someone's hand on his shoulder. O'Brien again to Willison. Willison's caught. Circles around in a big arc, then kicks high to the goal square. It's all South, but they need to take the mark, and Marty Atkins does. Rosa was waiting underneath him. Long kick. Sinclair is the target. That was a good kick from Atkins. Weighted that beautifully. That's not a good kick. Bromwich gets there to spoil half. It's picked up by the South defence and given back to half. 25-metre hand pass to Gold. It sits for him. Melody trying to run him down. Dorotich is the target. Spoiled from behind by Condon. And the throw will take place 35 metres out from South Fremantle's goal.
Yes, and David Hart's been moved up to Adrian Bromwich, and Peter Kelly has gone back to play on Stephen O'Brien.
Dorotich indicating that he should have kicked the ball infield and not to him in the pocket. Throw in with South deep in attack. They scored the last goal, but they need to kick a couple more. Another throw-in that didn't reach the ruckman. Malaxis took the ball. The pack took him. And it just gets a little bit untidy in there momentarily.
Well, that's the second time that boundary umpire hasn't been able to reach the ruckman.
Well, the ball might be slippery. His palms are probably fairly sweaty. It's a very hot day.
He needs to come inside the white line a bit.
But they won't do that. It's like hitting off the lady's teeth, TJ.
Okay, well, I do that.
Lindsay with Michael behind him. Over the top, Worsfold. Wouldn't appear to be held. Another throw-in South's right full forward pocket.
Wooden's been in everything today, trying hard for his red and white jumper. That's the umpiring panel. Let's see the boundary throw in this time. That's better. Michael, and then out of the air, hacked it forward, knocked away by Kerr. Rioli, the opposite 35 step, and he's kicked it. And that's his second. Cappuccino Kid says 4 points. And all of a sudden, against the flow of the game, South Fremantle are back in the hunt.
Yes, and it's because of that man, Dean Rioli, who's absolute magic around the goals. Look at what Clem Michael did there. But once you give this player some space, and Steve Malaxis will be well advised.
Made the change, Trevor. Kilmartin onto Rioli and Malaxis onto Wooden.
Yes, I think that had to happen, actually, because he's the sort of player that can cut the game open. So both coaches are reacting very quickly.
The battle of Todd and McHale, the brother-in-laws in the coach's box today. That was even Stevens. Black, South are on a roll here. Bad hand pass, sharp by Malaxis. The veteran of the game, kicks it to the wing on the outer side. Bounces away from Durkee to the advantage of Brad Bootsma. Left centre wing, looks for Rennick and finds him. He's off. Now he's got to go inboard. The kick up towards the pocket. Dorotich pushes the pack over. Knocked forward by East Fremantle. This is Rioli again. Got his hand pass in off the foot of Bootsma. Should have been a kick there to East Fremantle. Whistle has sounded. It's going that way.
Yep. Melody held without it.
Crowd don't like it. 7th grand final for him today. They kick towards the wing. And it's been marked by Bilsich, getting away from Bootsma. Look at this, it's all Sharks in the middle. Adrian Bromwich, not so prominent this term, but still good. Willison up in front, couldn't hold the mark. In goes O'Brien. It comes to Burrows. Craig Burrows pulls it around his body and misses. One behind only.
There's the other another laconic player in Craig Burrows, much like Clem Michael at the other end.
A bit of fancy headgear there. Coaching record of John Todd really is outstanding. His 7th grand final, winning 4 with Swans in 82, 83, 84 and 90. East Fremantle also in 93. This is Durkee. Durkee scrambles it forward. Fumble here from Willison. Finally gives it away. Sanders got through somehow, and from 45 kicks on goal. Black got a hand to it. Off hands, it rolls out of bounds.
I think a lot of the South Fremantle defenders are getting sucked up the ground a little bit, and they've just been caught out on a couple of occasions when the ball's gone in quickly.
Porter to oppose Burrows at the boundary throw-in. No one in the goal square for either team. Fortunately for South, it fell their way, and Bootsma gets it back towards half-back. Sinclair went without it. It's picked up by Bowden. He's 50 metres out. The ball off the side of the boot. Hines, he's been steady in this first half. He clears the ball around the outer side of the ground and uses it astutely. Finds Porter. Porter's just outside 50, or the man on the mark is. Kicks up towards centre wing. Sanders is in front. Atkins with the leap and the recovery. Gets the hand pass to Wotton. Knocks it down to Rennick. He's cornered. Gets away. Draws the player. Not a good hand pass. South lose it. They've done the hard work and were set to move forward, but the hand pass just wasn't as good as it needed to be.
Malax has gone back onto Rioli because they want Kilmartin to run off and get some attack from him.
You can just feel, though, the confidence is lifted with South, Trevor.
Yeah, it has.
Pairs to half forward. Malaxas straight through his hands. Oh, Rioli met by Spalding. But South are applying some pressure here. Oh, Worsfold was brilliant. Rioli holding the ball.
Oh, too high.
It was, gee, I reckon he put his head down.
Gone over the shoulder, according to umpire French.
Rioli will shoot for goal. We'll have a look at the replay. Maybe this will even the score for the dubious O'Brien free kick at the other end, although he didn't get the goal, I don't think, did he?
I think the tackle looked okay until he ducked his head.
It slipped up, so Dean Rioli, perhaps a little fortunate to have this free kick, but he needs to make the most of it. South still trail. They trail by 16 points. They can get within 2 goals here. Rioli's kicked the last 2 goals in the game. He's now got the last 3. He has had a purple patch late in this second quarter, and he has given South hope.
Yes, after being under a cloud coming into the game after he went off in the preliminary final last week. But he has attacked the ball with plenty of gusto, and sometimes things go for you. He was pushed over there, he got up quickly, and then when the hand pass came out from Peter Worsfold, and the tackle looked okay initially.
So critical, those decisions.
Yeah, umpire Adam Binks gave the decision.
Back in the centre of the ground, Pears. Lindsay wins the tap, though. Socket forward by Rosa. Sanders went in hard. Rosa followed up. Hand pass to nobody in particular, though. And Bootsma gathered it. Kicks it out towards the half-back line. Dodd's got it. He gives it upfield to Bilsich. Bootsma tackles. No free kick. Play on. Bilsich again. Tackled by Black just in the nick of time. It's going to be defended here by Kelly. It kicks to half-back.
Oh, that's a good mark.
That's a very good mark for David Hart. Farewell performance by the West Coast Eagle, South Fremantle player. A stint with West Perth, of course, as well. It was a bit unnecessary by Rioli. Melody easy, and a very late tackle. Melody goes looking for Willison. It's away from him. All Bulldogs. Porter, Pears was up. Kick forward by Bootsma. And a good mark by Gold. Bromwich lost it in the air, but Gold was very sure. David Gold kicks to the wing member's side. Michael up in front, too far for him and Kerr. Malaxis neat, palmed it down to Rosa. Rosa wobbles it to half forward. Big pack, including Lindsay, went one-handed. It ricochets to the favour there of Bootsma. Tackle without it by Melody. Play on the call. Bromwich kick inside half forward. Willison up in front. Spoiled by Hines, recovered best as well, gave it away to Hart, couldn't find the way through, so he went back to Hines, and the kick out to the wing's a bad one. Bromwich, free kick or mark.
Well, I don't know about that either. Yeah, exactly right. I mean, I think that was a bit anticipated by Trevor Garrett then. I think it was play on.
Bromwich skirts the pack, kicks the centre half forward, and Bilsich takes the mark.
It looked like a mark on the replay, Trev.
Yeah, just in time, perhaps.
Stephen Bilsich indicating he wants players to come at him. They do that now. Dodd. Hines getting back over the top. Atkins. Dodd the best to recover. Lays it off. Stockton from point-blank range. Kicks the goal. They stop the run of South. And perseverance has run out there.
And hard work also from Brad Dodd. The margin now back to 16 points. And just a good hard-working effort from getting to the contest. He had to contest the ball there, and then there it is there. Look, and he knew that Marshall Stockton was running past him, and the steadiness and the good hand pass, and a few of those things go unnoticed. And Brad Dodd playing on the centre wing, having a terrific battle with Heath Black, but certainly giving his team the edge in the midfield.
There it is, 16 points. 27.5 minutes gone in the second quarter. East Fremantle kicking with a light breeze in this second term. They won the toss and elected to kick into it in the first quarter. Pears and Lindsay. Ineffective ruck knock, but it's taken by South. Galt drives them to half forward. Malaxis and Rioli. Rioli wins the ball at ground level. Taps it to his own advantage. Malaxis persists. And puts it
might be lucky.
Yeah. Oh. Michael and Lindsay again. Ineffective minute or so here as Dodd takes clean possession. Malaxis took plenty of time. Lindsay went looking for Kerr. Well done. Knocked it through the traffic and Kilmartin takes it. Sinclair's after him. Kilmartin just gets his kick in. Spalding. Now that is a report. A report. It looked like a reasonable shepherd from where we were, but the umpire was right on the spot. Let's have a look. Most unlike Scott Spalding to do anything silly.
Yeah, it was just a push to the chest.
Didn't seem to be a lot in it, did it?
No.
Seemed to be a fair shepherd to me. But it's turned the ball over. Sinclair, who's come in for some pretty physical treatment both last week and this week. As I said earlier, I can't believe he's even out there. 2 umpires reported him last week. Everyone at the ground saw him strike his opponent, and he was let off. The charge dismissed. If he'd been found guilty and fined or something because it was a grand final, you can comprehend it. But, I mean, the tribunal chairman has decided that the umpires have made it up. Atkins kicks inside 50 metres. Michael sets himself in front. All South at ground level. Black needed 2 opportunities. Hooks to the goal square. Good mark taken by Sanders.
Yes, he's now playing in the rucks. Lindsay's come off and Warren on for East Fremantle. Desperation there by Justin Sanders.
Typical of the character of this man. And now a little bit of finesse. Worth a kick before he finally got his boot to it. Melody's here, coming across Burrows, run down from behind. Umpire Garrett says throw it in. Well, South Fremantle, to their credit, come back in this quarter, but the Sharks have steadied. There's been enormous pressure. The game is... Rose have got a ride then. Nothing like the second semi-final, Trevor.
No, not the same, is it?
Bromwich, Malaxis, Bilstich and Bootsma. They're at it again. This time it beats them both. And out of bounds.
Well, the Bulldogs were out by 26 points, were they? And they kicked 3 goals in a row to come right back in through Rioli. And East Fremantle have steadied now. It's going to be status quo from quarter time, really.
Still 16 points. Burrows and Pears at the back. Hart found a way through the traffic. This is Bottrell, Spalding at the back. The attempt to spoil was unsuccessful, knocked forward by Malaxis. Sinclair going in hard. He's picked up again by Rosa with a hip and shoulder. Pears in front, swept out by Dodd. Durkay's fast and elusive. He's on the crest, pulls it across his body into the middle of the ground, and a good mark taken by Bowden. He's an unsung hero, this man. Lays it off to Durkay, back to the centre circle. The kick out to half forward. O'Brien and Kelly both overran it, allowed Atkins in. He slaps it out wide, and it's a boundary throw in.
I reckon Trevor Garrett, or one of the umpires, is going to give one of those deliberates before long, and the team that it goes against will feel very aggrieved. There's been a few that could have gone.
Pears, Burrows from the side, taps it forward. Hart's there. And was shoveled forward by Durkay into the pocket. Still in. Bromwich has got it. Kicks across the goal face. And a boundary throw in. It was Warren.
Gee, that's a lesson in keeping persevering, isn't it, when the ball's not out?
He might have been pushed in the back, too.
Yes, that's right.
Dr. Tannock watching play with the officials. As the siren sounds for half-time. So the grand final sees East Fremantle leading by 16 points, 8-6-54 to South 6-2-38.